Okay, so for those of you watching on replay, we've just taken a moment to cleanse and to settle in with a few deep breaths. And if you haven't already, I invite you to ever so gently just close your eyes if that feels good to you. If for any reason that doesn't feel good to you, then feel free to just soften your gaze. Allow yourself to kind of zone out. And just bring your awareness to that breath in the belly. Now, the Zen masters often talk about our belly like this cauldron that holds our energy. And this hara, this energy center that runs from below the belly button. This is our kind of container, that which gives us capacity to hold, that which grounds us, that which keeps us strong and solid and rooted like a tree, so we can withstand even the craziest of storms. So let's just take a moment to really breathe into this space. Allow yourself to notice the sensation of that gentle expansion of the belly. And that contraction as you release the breath, not forcing, not pushing. Just bringing our awareness and allowing the breath to fill up this space. And sometimes when our mental or emotional body or even physical body is feeling really loud, something as simple as just witnessing the breath can feel really challenging. And some days it's easier than others. But if at any point you notice you've become distracted or pulled away by thought, sensation, then you just simply redirect your attention back. There's no need for judgment or criticism or frustration. But if those elements arrive, they're allowed to be there. We just gently redirect that attention back to the rise and fall of the belly. And as we move through our practice tonight, I'd like to remind you that there's no right way of doing this. Some parts will resonate, some days they just make more sense. Allow tonight to be whatever you need it to be. And as you breathe into this hara space, you may notice becoming a little bit more grounded, a little bit more settled, anchored, stronger. And we're going to allow that awareness to travel now and allow it to explore the physical body, checking in with ourselves. How is the physical body feeling today? Not judging whatever's present, it's all welcome. Even the aches and niggles, the pain and discomfort. The sensations of being alive in this moment. What's here today? Where feels like it needs a little bit of love? And I invite you to place your hands on that area, and you don't even need to know why you're drawn to a particular place in the body, but allowing your hands to land lovingly, gently. And for those of you that are Reiki trained, you may wish to begin your own practice of inviting in the Reiki at this point. For those of you that aren't or just want to be guided tonight, if you work with any deities, spirit guides, ascended masters, angels, or you feel more connected to the idea of a higher self or an oversoul, I invite you to use your intention to ask that guide, that part of self, to join you here this evening, to support you in your practice, and to help you use the energy for its highest good for you and for others. And I invite you to notice that the most beautiful healing light, divine energy, the healing ether of the universe is coming down through the crown of your head, And it's coming down, all the way down into your heart space. And it is filling that heart space up with love. That sort of love that feels absolutely unconditional. Maybe the sort of love that connects you to children or grandchildren, to your pets. It's amazing how much love you can have for a dog or a cat or your friends or the beautiful sight of a sunrise. Allowing that feeling to trickle down into your arms, through the elbows, into the palms, and wherever you're placing your hands on your body, that energy is being directed. And you may feel it as a warmth or a tingling. It may feel like love is just pouring into your body. You may find that you begin to feel compassion for this ache, this niggle, this pain, this discomfort. And taking a moment to appreciate the wonder that is this body. All it does for you, despite everything we put them through. This beautiful vessel that holds your essence. That allows you to eat all your favorite foods and cuddle those you care about. The body that allows you to experience this world. And maybe you feel called to connect with it with words, maybe saying a little thank you, maybe even a little apology for taking it for granted, for not always honoring its needs, for putting others' needs ahead of your own vessel. And maybe any little intentional whispers that you wish to set here. They don't need to be big, they don't need to be grand. Maybe I'm going to try to hydrate you a little bit better. I'll see if I can put a bit more nutrition in. I'll give myself permission to move even when it doesn't feel graceful. And allowing those intentions to land in the soil of your heart, like little seeds ready to blossom, ready to grow. And giving yourself just a few minutes to notice the sensation of the Reiki moving in through the crown, this healing energy, this beautiful divine light, filling up the heart with love, which pours down the arms, through the palms, infusing into this being. And let go of any preconceived ideas of how this should feel and what you should experience. And just notice. And allowing that awareness now to gently shift to the emotional body. Is there anything that is pulling at your attention? Maybe it's loud, maybe it's subtle. Maybe it's a background noise, just humming away. Maybe an underlying anxiety, a little worry. Maybe it's that feeling of exhaustion, maybe a niggle of resentment. Often our emotions are layered and peak and settle. But as you consider the emotional body, again, notice where your hands wish to lay. And there's no right or wrong about this. We're not worried about hand positions, doing it the right way, or allow your intuition to guide you. And as before, begin to notice that beautiful healing energy coming down through the crown of the head, filling up the heart space. Maybe you feel the wave of that in the emotional body as it trickles down the arms, into the palms, and into the part of the body you feel called to place your hands. And as before, just allowing yourself to notice what you observe. And if at any point you feel called, shift your hands. Trust that instinct. And as we're working with Reiki, especially on the emotional body, as well as the physical and the mental, we sometimes feel that energy being released through a desire to shed a tear, maybe even have a giggle. And sometimes this comes up really physically, like hiccups or a burp, or a yawn escapes you as that energy begins to shift and find a new way. And as before, taking a moment to just appreciate that you have this amazing system inside you that allows you to feel the full spectrum of emotion, the happiness, the sadness, the heartbreak, the love, the grief, allowing all of it to have its place, as all of the emotions have such beautiful wisdom to show us. Whether it's anger at boundaries being overstepped, or the beauty in grief, it can only be felt when love was present. The disappointments that remind us of what we truly desire, what actually matters. So maybe taking a moment to whisper those little words of gratitude to the emotional body for all that it shows you, all that it allows you to experience in this lifetime. That beautiful and often difficult spectrum, each with their own challenges to hold within. Each of them trying to show you something important to you. Maybe saying a little thank you. And again, maybe you feel called to set a little intention here with the emotional body. Is there a way that you wish to interact with it a little bit differently? Maybe not labeling some of the emotions as bad or wrong or something to fix. Maybe it's just giving yourself space to hear what comes up in the emotional body instead of drowning it out or numbing it away. To honor how you feel with acceptance and kindness, noting that some emotions feel more difficult to experience than others, and that deserves our compassion. And if you have a little intention that you wish to set with the emotional body, again, allowing that to land like a little seed in the heart space, ready to bloom, ready to blossom. And notice the sensation of that Reiki again. Is anything shifted? Is anything changed? Or is it remaining the same? None of these are better or worse. We're just observing. And then allowing that attention to shift to the mind now. Now that mind might feel a bit quieter now that we are hopefully a little bit more relaxed. And it's begun to understand that it doesn't need to do a lot of work right now. Because this mind works incredibly hard. Whether it's remembering all of the things we need to do, working out the problems that we often create and never actually happen. All of those times it fast forwards to the future and begins to think about the what ifs, or the times it goes back to the past and thinks about all of the things that we could have done differently or shouldn't have happened. But on top of that, it also holds our most beautiful memories. In an instant, we can bring back an experience that we've had, an image or feeling of a beautiful sunset, our favorite season, our favorite cake or cookie, or favorite dinner. Our mind is this amazing machine that unfortunately often we let take charge of us instead of being in charge of it. And it becomes overwhelmed and undirected. So, as before, as you think about the mind, noticing where you want to place your hands, and this doesn't have to be near the head. You may feel more drawn to place your hands on a completely different part of the body. So, just notice where feels right for you as you think about this mental aspect of self. And connecting in with that Reiki flow again. If you feel like you've lost it, allowing that beautiful healing light, that loving energy coursing through the crown of the head, filling up the heart space, coming down the arms, into the palms, and into the part of the body that you feel called to place your hands. And apologies now if you can hear my little pup in the background. He's anxious to be involved tonight, but unfortunately not. In fact, I might just let him in. So while I do that, allowing that part of the body where your hands are resting to fill up with that beautiful loving energy as I go let the pop in. And as we did before, allowing yourself to take a moment of appreciation for your amazing mind, for all of the problems it's allowed you to solve, for the beautiful memories it allows you to access, for the creativity it allows you to channel. And so often we talk about the mind as a enemy or something to fix, the monkey that's got out of control. But really it's this amazing system that holds more data than is actually physically possible. Our minds have the capacity, depending on your thought process around this, but from a materialistic perspective, our minds have the capacity to hold more data than entire data centers. And maybe you find yourself getting fed up with it, fighting it, criticizing it for not being quick enough or for being too negative or for being too critical. But just for now, let's take a moment to appreciate all the good that it gives us. Maybe again you feel called to whisper a few sweet nothings into the mind's ear, realigning that relationship. Maybe a little thank you. I'm sorry I don't appreciate you enough. And maybe a little intention on how you want to work with it in a more helpful way. Maybe seeing those thoughts that swirl around with a bit more compassion, as it's just trying to keep you safe, right? It's just trying to figure out what you need to know. And it doesn't always get it right. Perhaps you wish to just observe your thoughts a little bit more without judging them, criticizing them. Maybe you wish to just not fight the mind on the days it's more foggy, but just offer it compassion for the struggle it's going through. Perhaps you wish to intend to feed it with better nutrients, all those amazing omega 3, 6s, 9s, those good fats and oils, those nuts and seeds, those oily fish. And consciously feed this amazing organ. And we're going to shift our attention a little bit more to the external now, and just noticing where in your life feels like it needs a bit more love, maybe a bit more attention, a place you feel called to direct more of your energy, not from a place of should or must, not from a place of obligation or conditioning, but a place that feels important to you. And again, taking a moment to notice how that part of your life, or maybe that relationship, or whatever it is, how it's already serving you in some way. Whether we like to admit it or not, there's good and bad in all situations, in all experiences. What is it already providing to you? And I invite you again to just place your hand somewhere on the body that you feel called to, as you think about this situation, this thing you want to work on, whether that be a relationship, a project, your career, your finances, or something else entirely, a creative piece of work. And just notice where your hands wish to land on the body as you think about this. Maybe you feel called to sit with your palms facing up so that energy can be directed out towards that thing. And as before, allowing that Reiki energy to move into the heart, feeling that love as it travels down the arms, out of the palms, and into that element of your life. And just observe. Maybe you observe the sensation in your palms. Maybe you just notice your inner landscape as you direct that energy outwards. And as that energy magic is doing its thing, maybe whispering to this part of your life a few sweet nothings, acknowledging what it's given you, what it's taught you, what it's shown you about what's important to you. And from a place of love, just gently dropping in how you would love to see it grow. What transformation you would love to see unfold within it. And allow yourself to be catapulted to that version where it's already happening in front of your eyes. Allow yourself to feel the feels of that. Allow that gratitude to wash through your body as you feel that sensation of how lucky am I? And maybe whispering that a few times. How lucky am I? How lucky am I? And I invite you now to gently place those palms together, often known as prayer pose or gasho. And saying a little thank you to any guides or higher self that joined you here this evening, for supporting you with your practice, and thanking the beautiful healing energy for supporting you here on this Monday evening. Thank you. And allowing that thanks to spread out to the gorgeous ladies that joined you here tonight. Maybe imagining a little cord, connecting your heart to each of theirs. And through that cord, sending them love and a big thank you. Thank you for being here, for creating this energetic, safe space for us to come back and realign. And finally, a big thank you to yourself for making the effort, for showing up. When it's easy to not, right? It's easy to find the excuse, to leave it for another day, to think, I'll watch the replay, even though you know this might be exactly what you need. So taking that moment to thank yourself for being here for you tonight. Thank you. And allowing that thank you to land. And before you open your eyes, take a moment to just observe, how are you doing now? How is the energy feeling now? No right or wrong, no good or bad. But maybe ever so gently opening those eyes and popping a word or two in the comments to let me know, how are you doing? How was that for you? Now, for those of you watching on replay, this is where we're going to love and leave you. I so hope you enjoyed that tonight. I hope that gave you exactly what you needed. And for those of you here, just a reminder, this is recorded. It will be sent out so you can come back to it as many times as you need. For those of you watching on replay, I would love to hear from you. Feel free to send me your thoughts. How was your practice? I would love to know. Take care of yourself, and I will see you soon.